Hi everyone, Kim here with Sunshine Creations and Crafts, and this is episode 9, card 10 of the Simple Cards Cricut cartridge, art cartridge, excuse me. I have done all the cards up to this point. I actually skipped 10 and went right to 11, so I'm backtracking a little bit. Now, I think my paper choice was not so good on this one. I used a basil cardstock with a lot of texture, and it didn't cut too well, but my original idea, you'll see in a minute, is I'm going to put a string of stars across here, and it will cover that up a little bit. So I wouldn't use such thick cardstock. Maybe I'm not really sure why my Cricut did that, because it doesn't typically have a problem with it. So all right, so the first thing, set this aside here for a minute, is I want to go ahead and put on my insert. Now this is cough cough Hello Kitty paper, but I liked it for this card, and like always I go ahead and I put the glue on the card base just a little bit on the edge of where the cuts are. Originally I was putting it on the insert, and then it ended up where the glue was kind of seeping through the cuts in the design of the card. So learn from my mistakes, as I say always. And you know, it doesn't matter really if you're going to use a striped or a patterned paper for this one. I thought it was okay to have it sort of like an opposite direction of the lines. I just wanted to see the red, white, and blue behind it. And I may have cut that a little crooked, which I can trim like so. Okay, I want to stop a second because I want to discuss the size of the card. Now, I went ahead, just playing around before the video, and set my Cricut to 4.5 inches. And I got a 6 1/4 by 4.5 inch quarter card. It's a big card. You may have to make your own envelope for this one, but that's a nice size card. That's a, 6 1/4 by 4.5. Again, cutting it at 4.5. But this one here, my little sticky note, I set the cut size to 4, and it came out to 5.5 by 4, which is pretty close to an A2 size card. Can't quite get it there. Maybe 4 1/4 would do it, but then it's going to bump the size of the card up to 5 3/4, and you don't want that. So we're going to stick with this one. All right, so I'm going to put a white insert in here, and I have some stamping. I was going through my ribbon the other day and just kind of seeing what I have, and I'm going to be doing a 3-day scrapbooking crop coming up in May, and just kind of see what I have and what I need to get and that kind of thing. And all of a sudden, this stamp set fell out of my ribbon box. I have no idea where it came from. Maybe you guys recognize it. You can let me know. But I'm going to use it for the inside of my card. And we'll do this real quick because I want to try to get this done without having to edit it. And this one has a little bit of a dot, polka dot sort of texture to it, design. And first I'm going to do the big one in red. And I truly hope that this ink is good because, yep, it is. I have not used this red ink in a super long time. I'm grabbing my little wipey so that I can wipe this off. It won't get on my card then. My hand got kind of wet on that, so I gotta dry my hand off there. And I'm going to put, gosh, maybe I should put it this corner because that's where the salutation, yeah, I'll put it in this corner. Like I said, I don't know how the stamp set works. Okay, I'm going to have to stamp over that again, but I will do that off camera. I will correct it. And then I'm going to use some blue, and I'm going to put that right there and right there so I know where I'm stamping. Ink. Right here. here. I put that blue one on backwards. Goodness, I hope I got that in the right spot now. My blue ink on my hands, I gotta be careful when I'm touching. That's good. Nice. Okay, so close that up and get that out of the way. Clean that just a little bit, and then I'll deal with that later. All right, so the front of the card, I used Stand and Salute Cricut cartridge, and I did the shadow in white, and I did the letters in red. Now, my advice to you is do not cut it any smaller than 2, because this little section right here cuts out really, really thin, and it ends up just tearing right off. So, and then I used this cute little stream of stars, and this is actually on Joys of the Season. Now, some of you might be thinking, how the heck does she find all these images? Well, there's 2 sources that I use, and I know there's more, so you're welcome to leave a comment about that. But I use my cut search, and then I also use my Cricut craft room. I just go onto the craft room and search an image, or search a cartridge even, and it will come up with all the different choices. And what's great about that is it will tell you on the Cricut craft room what cartridge you have that's linked to your craft room, so you know whether you can use that image or not. And these stars are cut at 1 3/4. And it just so happened to cut exactly the size that I needed. And then I cut, this is the shift image, which is going to go right on top of that. Oops, wrong side there. Just because the other side has texture to it. Now, if you have a Xyron, you can use the Xyron for this instead of trying to fumble with your glue. Again, that's cut at 1 3/4. I love the Tombow, but it doesn't dry transparent. It dries clear, so many times I use it. You can see the mess ups that I make. All right, I'm going to put this aside for 1 second. I'm actually going to be using my tweezers for this. Oh, it looks like I put my paper on backwards. I've got the textured side behind it. I don't think that really matters though. I just wanted red. And this cut pretty clean, and I think I mentioned it was cut at 2 inches. I found a piece of white scrap in my bin and I pulled it out, but it didn't do well cutting this image. There's a little ooey right there. But because it's a shadow, the shadow part of it, I'm just going to correct it myself instead of, you know, wasting paper and doing it all over again. And then I can either put this here in the middle or on the side. I'm going to put it in the middle. And I was thinking about how cool it would be to have the stars as you know, like a gold or a yellow. So I pulled out my stickles, but now that I'm putting this together, I don't think I want to put any color on those stars. Now, I don't know if I mentioned it in any of my videos, but I went ahead and joined, it's not really a group, but I'm now participating in the Operation Right Home organization. So I was thinking this would be a nice card for our soldiers. So I don't know, before I go, I'm going to take a vote. The stickles that I have are this color here, and see if I can find a white scrap. See what they look like. They are not going to cooperate, so I will get my little paper piercer thingy-mabob, and we'll get that started. Okay, so you guys can leave a comment and let me know if you think I should put... Oh, actually, if it's an Operation Right Home card, you can't put any kind of glitter or stickles. So that kind of solves that. But that would be what I would want to do, is I'd want to put some yellow on there. So I can maybe think of something else if I decide to do yellow stars. Let me know what you think. It might add a little bit more color to the card, or we might want to just keep it basic just like this. But anyway, so that's card 10 and of the Simple Cards Cricut art cartridge. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.